Thank you very much, Ray. Good morning, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Ray Kim for making this workshop happen. Thank you very much, Ray, and also everybody from AASLD that's going to be participating in the workshop today. Can we have my talk up, please? Being young investigators like yourselves, you've come down a very long road, and now you are faced with something that you need to do, which is focus on your new life as a specialist. And focusing on clinical research is something that will be very important and indispensable in your future life. So what we're going to do today is we're going to try to help you choose a topic. And by doing this, we're going to try to figure out what are the hot topics in hepatology in North America, which might be something that you may be interested in. The objective of the talk is to define and identify what is hot in clinical hepatology. Also to determine which is the hot topic that is right for you. And at the end, give you a few tips on what factors are important in having success in your clinical research. What is a hot topic? Well, a hot topic is a topic that everybody's interested in talking about. An example of that, we got together a few months ago to decide the content of our postgraduate course for this meeting. And almost by consensus, we decided that the hot topic and something that we really needed to focus on was non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So as you will see once you get out of here for the rest of the day today and tomorrow, we have a single topic postgraduate course at this meeting on NAFLD. So that is definitely one of the hot topics. Why is it hot? Well, it's hot because it has a potential for breakthroughs and discoveries. This is really a very relatively young disease and something we know very little about. Something else that's really very important is that it has medical, social, and financial impact. This is going to be a disease that is going to dominate the economics of medicine in Mexico for years to come. So once you have chosen your topic, you need to determine if it is likely to obtain priority for funding. Well, if everybody's talking about it, if there's potential for breakthroughs and discoveries, if it has a large impact medically, socially, and financially, well, it is very likely that it has priority for funding. What I did is I looked back for the past year and a half for papers published in human subjects in the two journals that dominate the Americas. The Annals of Hepatology, which is the journal of the Canadian, the Mexican, and the Latin American associations, and Hepatology, which is, of course, the journal for the American Association for the Study of Liver Disease. And I tried to figure out exactly what are the hot topics. And as you can see, cirrhosis is the hot topic, cirrhosis is a hot topic for both journals. That in part is due to this is the end stage for all other liver diseases. But there's other surprises. Hepatocellular carcinoma. Due to the epidemics of hepatitis C and NASH that we have in America, especially in North America, hepatocellular carcinoma is coming to the forefront, and it's definitely becoming a hot topic. Hepatitis C, which has been our darling for the past few years, is still a hot topic, although how long it will remain a hot topic is to be seen. It's sort of fading away, which is, as we will see a little bit further on in the talk, something else that is very important for you guys to determine. Whatever topic you choose needs to last for a while. Again, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is also a hot topic. And then hepatitis B, alcoholic liver disease, and drug-induced liver disease were also pretty prominent. After that, what I did is I tried to figure out what was hot at our Young Investigators Workshop in Cancun. And as you guys can see, well, it more or less is the same thing. Cirrhosis and portal hypertension and its complications were definitely the premier topic, or are the premier topic for our poster presentations, followed by NAFLD and hepatitis C, and then alcoholic liver disease, hepatocellular carcinoma, and PBC. What is hot in Mexico? The ones that are in red are really hot. I mean, what is hot in Mexico doesn't necessarily have to be the same as what is hot in the rest of the Americas. NAFLD, as we have discussed, is very hot. Cirrhosis and liver cancer will remain hot. And hepatitis C, like I said, is hot right now, but we need to be careful about that. The ones that are not so hot, hepatitis B. Fortunately, hepatitis B is not as prevalent a disease in Mexico as in some other places in the Americas. Alcoholic liver disease, although it's very prevalent, finding funding for alcoholic liver disease may prove difficult. Drug-induced liver disease, we don't really have a formal database in our country, so that sort of makes it hard. And cholestatic liver disease, again, is really not that common. Talking about fatty liver, what are the areas? One is epidemiology. If you don't have a hypothesis, like Ray said, you can always do something on epidemiology. We know very little about this disease in our country, so that's something that maybe you can focus on if you don't have any other ideas. Something very important, non-invasive diagnostic methods. We need methods to identify these patients, and once we've identified them, we need methods for staging their disease. So serological imaging techniques and genetic markers are something that is hot and something that there's a lot to be done. And once we've identified and staged these patients, then treatment of these patients. And usually when a topic is hot, treatment is also something that goes along with it because that's where the money is. So we can look into lifestyle modifications, surgical and endoscopic procedures for patients to lose weight, and pharmacologic treatment of the disease. Once we have figured out what's hot, now we need to decide what topic is good for you guys. First, it needs to have clinical relevance. It needs to be something important. As we have looked before, it has to have financial, social, and medical relevance or impact. The next thing is how long will it remain hot? Well, that's very important. The last thing you want to do is be involved in a research. Research can take a while, and by the time you're done, if your topic is not hot, then it will be a lot more difficult to get funding and for publication. It is very important that whatever topic it is that you choose, that you guys really know the ins and outs of the disease. You need to know everything that there is to know about the topic that you choose. I do not recommend that you go into something that you're not really very familiar with. And last but not least, are you in the right place? Is that important? Yes, absolutely. You need to have the patient population availability to do your research. You need to have the resources. In Mexico, that might be a problem, but you need to make sure that you have the resources, including the methods and the tools for developing the research needed. You need to be able to collaborate, to network with other physicians and centers. Of course, again, you need to make sure that you know what you're talking about and that you have the training, the adequate training to conduct the study. Mentors, I cannot underemphasize the importance of having a good mentor. Having an expert in the topic makes all these other things much easier. Usually, if you have an expert as a mentor, you're going to have the patient population, you're going to have the tools, and you're going to have the bridges to establish connections with other physicians and centers to do your research. And finally, financial support. Usually, the mentor can help you a lot with that, so that you can never underestimate the importance of having the money to do your research. Finally, what factors are important in having success? Doing clinical research, it's really never easy. What things can you do to make this easier? Planning. It is always important to plan ahead of time. You need to stay ahead of the curve. You need to figure out what it is you can do to stay ahead of your competitors, what it is you can do to make your research easier and more complete. Always surround yourself by the right people. It's very hard to do research by yourself. Of course, you need to work hard, and in working hard, the road is never easy. There's always bumps on the road. You always have problems, so you need to persevere, and you need to adapt to your circumstances. If for any chance you find yourself in a situation where you might not be able to progress, don't be stubborn. You can always find something else to do research on. And finally, broaden your horizons. We live in an ever smaller world. Every day this world gets smaller. Don't be afraid to network. Don't be afraid to look for other places, whether it be inside your country or outside of the country, where you can broaden your horizons. So don't be afraid to knock on doors. You would really be surprised how many of these doors will open if you knock on them. Thank you very much.